Okay, it's time to do today's CSS battle. Let's see what we've got. Okay. This all looks symmetrical. So let's try doing something slightly different. Let's do that to start off with. I think we're going to have 4 elements. 2, 3, 4. We'll use body, display, flex, flex, wrap, wrap. And width will be 200, height of 150, set a background of, just so that we can see what's going on, red, blue, whatever, set the margins to 0, set the let's also set the margins on this to 0. Right, okay. So there we've got all 4 bits. Now then, we will do at the very back a radial gradient. This color 50 pixels maybe, and then this color 0, and we'll make that one Q so that it's a circle. Now then, how close is that? We'll shift it to minus 10 pixels. No, that's maybe the wrong way. How about 10 pixels? Okay, that would be good. That looks like it's in the right place. Okay. Now we'll make that square with a conic gradient. Now then, we want to start from the bottom right corner. So from 90 degrees at, we'll call that 105, 70, this yellow 25%, and then we'll make it transparent. No, 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 no. What we actually want to do is actually start this at minus 90 degrees. No, we don't. No, we don't. What we actually want is that. So, how big is this square? 70 to 125 is going to be 55. So, if we actually do this at 55 pixels, 55 pixels, then we also want it to be a repeating gradient. Now then, the top right wants to, let's do transparent for 25%, and then the blue. Right, that gets us that, which is not quite as useful. We want to go in by 105 pixels. We also want this to be a no repeat. We want to go down 70 pixels, I think. I think that should actually be the yellow. Yeah, that looks good. That looks good. Right. We'll put a semicolon and a plus P and do scale. The second one is going to want to flip on the X and not the Y. And then we're going to make a third one, which is going to stay normal on that one and -1 on that one. And then a fourth, which is just going to be flip in both directions, and that should be 100%. That is indeed 100%. Now then, 105 would be 90 plus 15. So that is going to be divisible by 3, maybe 30, 40, 30 plus 5, 35 VH, much better. 70 pixels I can't do anything with. 50 pixels there's no point in doing anything with. 10 pixels is likewise, I can't do much about that. So that all looks good. Let's get rid of that semicolon because we can. And we also shouldn't need that lot. And then we will minify and we'll hit submit. We'll see what we get from that. Okay, so that's not a bad score. Right, now how else could we do this? Let's go back to the base template. Let's just see if we can do this just with a few gradients. Actually, let's use the nested template so that we can get it down to that exact size. So let's add some margins here. Top looks like it's going to be 20, and from the right I reckon 70. Okay, so 18, 17. Yep, 17 and 60, 52. Yep, that looks good. Now let's do a radial gradient on the background. Make it yellow for 50 pixels, and then transparent. Set it up with 1Q. Now then, we're going to want a width, which is going to be 110. To 290 is 180, so this probably, no, this might work. Let's do 0, 0, 190 pixels. And then, is it the same down to the bottom? So that's 75. 2225 is 75, 20, 50, 150 pixels maybe? Now let's see if we can shift those into place. So, minus 30 pixels. No, let's try 50. No, too much. 40 is looking close. Make 45. That looks somewhere near right. This is too big. What's 180? And then make that 40. Okay, that looks close. Then minus 20 pixels. 25. Okay, and that gets us all the circles. So that's a nice start. Now if we change this to this, we get that. And if we take out this background, does it then it's shifted by 10 pixels in both directions? So let's make that 30, that 50. Oh god, 32, 17. Okay, that puts that in the right place. So next up, let's I don't know if I can do iconic gradient in such a way that I can actually have the square right. Let's just check what the square is. 75, 125, okay, 50. So conic gradient at 50 pixels, 50 pixels. This is where it's going to get a little tricky. I can't think of a way of actually getting that to be exactly where I want it, but let's carry on, just see what we get in the first place. That yellow for 25%. Okay, now then, if we start with transparent, let's do transparent for 75%, and then we'll make this a 0. Put the comma in. Then let's shift it across by 70 pixels. Too many. 50 pixels. No. 60 pixels. Might be 58. 58 looks like that would be right, and then shift it down a little bit. 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Try 58 there as well. Okay, that then takes that bit out. Give width of 100 pixels maybe, 120, 130. That would get those two. Still got we've got bits on the outside that are problematic at this point, but we'll worry about that in a minute. Make its height 60 pixels, 80, 90, 100 pixels. That gets that lot. I think we're going to actually have to do background of that blue, which is going to shift everything around a bit, but that's fine. -40, -20, 30, 25. Okay, and then 60. Try 50. That looks better that way. 50. That looks better that way. And there we have all of those. Now we only need that block in the middle, and I think the easiest way to do that would be one linear gradient with just the yellow, and we shift it 100 pixels, 100 pixels, make it 70 pixels and 50 pixels, and no repeat. Okay, that's not a bad guess. So 70 is not wide enough. How about 90? That's too much. How about 80? 80 is spot on. Okay, now 100 pixels is going to be... Well, actually, let's just check that that is actually spot on. Yep, that is 100% match. And even without doing any minimalization, we're getting close to where we were with the other solution. So what can we crunch? Right, well, first off, 100 pixels is always going to be 25 hue width. 80 pixels would be, yeah, well, it's 20 VW, but that doesn't change the number of characters. Can't do anything with that. 130 isn't divisible by 3, so we can't do much with that. 50 pixels, no, not going to do anything with that. That would could we shift that in the other way, maybe to save? I don't think that's going to save any characters, because I'd need to do it positive by 140, I think. Let's just try that, yeah. Although 140 would be 35 VW. Yeah, that's much better. 180 is divisible by 3, it'll be 60 VH. 150 will be 50 VH. Okay. This we should be able to change to transparent and everything should still work. Get rid of that and that. Hit submit again. Okay, now if we minify and submit, oh, something went wrong. Okay. I don't think that I can do any better than that. Just check. Can't think of another way of doing the patterns other than the two that I've already done. Well, I suppose it could be 5 elements, but that starts getting complicated at that point. Let's try with the five elements anyway. So let's go base template. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then we'll make that into the, not the yellow, the blue. And then we will do a paragraph. Set its background to the yellow. Set width to 100. Height to 100. We'll set a border radius of 50 pixels 00. Oh no. We want 50 pixels on most of them. Yep, just like that. Then we'll shift this to the right place with the margin. So let's go 50, 70, no, 50, 20, 30, 40, 50. 50 is good. 20, 30, okay, 25. 50 is not quite as useful as we thought. Let's try 48. Alright, 52. 52 is good. Then if we do the second P, do a margin of minus 125, I think, and 152. $70, $180, $190, $252. Let's have a look at what we've got. We're just going to hide the other 3 for a minute. So that gets that in the right place. We want a scale of minus 1, 1. Then we'll third one in place. Do that as another nested P under here. This is going to want to go 150 down, maybe 170, 80. Let's set the other side 52 because that will get us the right place there. 170, 70, 180. Okay, that's so 178, 176, 175, 175 looks good. Then we'll actually do this as a scale 1 minus 1. And finally we want, no, this isn't quite finally. Let's put the fourth one back in to play. Which will have margin of minus 150 and then 232. Okay, where is that? Okay, 250, 27, 262 is too little, 270, 277, 278, no, 276, 275. And a scale of minus 1. Then we're going to want the final P, which we will make a width of 80, a height of 40, border radius of 0. Then we'll just bring its margins in, which is going to be 250, no, 150, 2. I'll bring it from the left, and we want 120 from the top, 110, 125. And then the height is going to want to be 50 apparently. Okay, that is not going to be shorter is all I'll say to that. But it is still 100%. Get rid of all of those bits. It's just checking that I haven't broken anything. Minify it. It's still longer by 30 whole characters. Is there anything that I could have changed? I think that's about as good as I can get that particular solution, so obviously this one wins. We'll leave it there. Thanks for watching, see you in the next one.